So we've got two different types of scenarios here. One, people like new houses. Everyone loves that new car smell, new house smell. Absolutely true. So we get so many people wanting to buy a new house, but new construction is just not available. I mean, they're sold out. They can't build them fast enough, and they're pre-sold well into the future. So more and more I'm getting buyers that are saying, hey, how about something that's newer? Can you show me only things that are built after 2010 or things only built after 2015? Well, 4, 5, 10-year-old house can still have lots of problems. And so that's what we're going to talk about in this video. So newer homes and new homes both suffer from many of the very same problems. New homes have some newer materials in them that help stand up to the elements better. They kind of last longer. Building codes get tougher every year, so the homes are generally better constructed, but that doesn't mean you're not going to have problems. I'm making this video because I have to tell you that I was looking at a newer home, not brand new, but a newer home, and I thought, hey, this is like a new home. There shouldn't be any problems here, and boy, did that place look great. It really did. I've got some construction background. I've been doing this a while, but because the house was so nice looking, I was overwhelmed by how nice it looked, and maybe I didn't pick up on some stuff that I should have. Sure enough, when I got my inspectors in there, and septic inspectors, they found termites, they found drainage problems, they found window problems, and then on top of it all, the septic was a disaster, horrible. Really scary, and it goes to show that this is why we need to really take a close look. So what can go wrong with new homes? Just what I mentioned. One of the big ones, we're like number 2 in the country here in Georgia for termites. So yes, termites eat new homes, no problem. They love them. The wood still tastes good. Now there are some protective layers in a newer home that make it less likely, but if this home happens to have trees around it, or if the drainage was done wrong, which is not uncommon, and so it's providing moisture for the termites, they're really still going to get into that house, and it could be just a couple of years old and you can still have some serious termite problems. So this is good reason for inspectors, and should give you some pause just assuming that a new or newer home is going to be defect free. Okay, another thing, septic. Now this particular home was on septic. Many are in sewers. New construction, they want to squeeze those houses together to make as many of them and make as much money as they can. So a lot of those are on sewer, but some newer homes are still on septic if you're in a more rural area. And septic tanks, it could be a brand new septic tank and it doesn't mean someone can't ruin it. This one was full of solid debris, including layers and layers, very thick layers of grease that were fouling up the entire septic system. Pipes leading out, the tank itself, the filter on the back end. So again, right, newer house, you wouldn't think we'd have these problems. Construction, how do they not construct it properly? Bruce, building inspector's supposed to check this stuff out for us, right? True, but the building inspector's not there every step of the way. Plus at the end, sometimes there's some regrading and putting in lawns and stuff that can easily create these drainage and water problems that can be devastating to a newer home. That happens often. Even just the storm itself can wash away the dirt where the drainage used to be good and all of a sudden make the drainage go towards your house instead of away from your house. So some stuff you want to look for, and that's why it's real important to have good inspectors that are experienced and really know what they're doing, not just somebody with an iPad and a checklist. And windows. Sometimes the structure of the house may shift and move, and that'll pop the seals in the windows. So when we see the window seal broken, a couple of concerns. If it's an older house, then there are certain periods of time when those seals just weren't as good as they are now, and may have just popped just from a lot of UV light, dried out, and the seal's no good anymore. But on a newer house, when those seals pop, there's probably a reason why. It could be settling of the structure, and then we want to look a little bit deeper to see how serious that settling is that made the window pop. Was the house framed with the opening too tight, and that's why the window was damaged when the house settled? Or is the house settling too much, and there's problems with the footings, foundation, or other framing? It's just poor construction. We have a shortage of contractors right now, and those contractors are working around the clock, and they're in a real rush. The builders want to pay as little as possible. Sometimes things get overlooked, mistakes get made, and there could be some framing issues, there could be roofing issues, could be siding issues that you don't notice when they're covered in paint. They look just great, but that could lead to problems, generally moisture and water intrusion into the house. Those are the biggies, right? But there's other issues too that can happen from simple mistakes of the contractors. So listen, if you're interested in a new house, we're here to help you, but don't just assume you can go with the builder's agent. Don't just assume because it's a newer house that you're going to be safe. Go with someone who knows what they're doing, make sure you're protected, and get the house inspected. Even if it is a brand new house, it's worth getting a home inspection. And so I'm here to help. Give us a ring, Bruce Bowe, brucebowe.com. So glad you tuned into this video, and feel free to leave comments below. If you've had a problem with the new house, we'd love to hear about it, and there's so many people that would like to know what's going on. So thanks so much. Talk to you soon.